In this episode, we talk with a former 18-year-old whose future was not written in stone. Little did he know that the place he was about to move to would become his forever home. Along the way, he inspired countless young people, set national records, and impacted thousands of lives both on and off the field. Coach Wilcox is a true Mount Rushmore in our rich history. Wilcox is more than just a name. His legacy is at the heart of Benedictine College.
1979, took the head football job, so I was residence hall director, head baseball coach, head football coach.
Holy
taught
smokes.
Classes, did intramurals while Thad Nowak was out with a surgery. So
oh my gosh, do you think back to that and you're like, how did I do all that?
Man.
Welcome to Always a Raven, a Benedictine College podcast that goes far beyond the brick streets of Atchison, Kansas. Hosted by Janelle Menz, Always a Raven offers a unique glimpse into Ravens from all generations. From where are they now to remember when, these conversations share career triumphs and personal milestones. So whether you are an alum looking to reconnect, a prospective student, or simply curious about what makes Benedictine College so special, join us and discover the enduring power of Benedictine College.
We are excited to have Larry Wilcox join us today. Coach Wilcox, you are an institutional icon. I'm certain we could even say famous when it comes to Raven Nation. Thank you for joining us.
No problem, Janelle. Glad to be here.
I am so excited to learn about Larry Wilcox, the man behind the coach, perhaps. Can you start with telling us what brought you to Benedictine College in the late 60s?
Well, I came to Atchison sight unseen in 1968. That's a little bit different than the current student who comes on 3 or 4 visits before they make a decision. And got on a bus, Greyhound bus in East St. Louis at night and got here on a Saturday morning for the start of school and never looked back. I've been here continuously, 56 years now. So.
Holy smokes. So your parents were fine with just throwing you on a bus and off you go?
That was the only option.
Yeah.
First one to college. I had a priest at our high school, Assumption High School in East St. Louis, that recommended St. Benedict's College, of course, at that time, and St. John's in Minnesota. I wanted to go to St. John's because they had football.
Okay.
And but my mom felt it was a little too far away.
Sure.
And that this might be a better option. Also, I was born in St. Joe.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I had
So a little bit of
familiar
familiar.
and an aunt and uncle in St. Joe. So if something went wrong, a little better proximity. So
yeah.
It all worked out, obviously. And I'm just still starting to get to like the place.
So was that common back then? Because to my understanding, that was the same for Coach Gartmeyer. He came sight unseen too. Was that pretty typical?
I think for him that was also, but that was much more likely to happen. You had a sibling who went here, somebody knew of the place, or a priest or a nun that recommended it, and you took them at their word. And so you just tried it out to see if it fit. And obviously for a lot, it's been a great fit.
So 4 years, and did you go home much, or was it kind of you're here and you're sticking it out throughout the school year?
Yeah, for the most part, you're here.
Yeah.
You know, the rules were a little different then. You had curfew. You had study hour in the dorm, and there was a priest or a monk on almost every floor of every dorm. So it wasn't the current setup. You couldn't have a car until you were, I think, a senior.
Interesting.
So there were a lot more things that kept you on campus and involved. Of course, when I attended here, it was all men's college, St. Scholastica being the women's college across town.
Right.
There was not a lot of interaction between the two as
really?
much as you might think.
Yeah.
But some social things. And
like you knew they were over there?
Yeah. And they knew we were over here and stay away from them.
Yeah. So you graduated in 72, then what?
Well, I actually was 4.5 years as a student.
Okay.
I did student teaching, and football had started during the time that I was here, and so I wanted to play another year of football.
Yeah.
I had student teaching to do, graduated in December of 72, and then went into the Army.
Okay.
Because Vietnam was still going on. As a student, you had a deferment. Once you graduated, you no longer had your deferment. I had a low draft number, so I joined the local National Guard and went to boot camp. That was one of 2 semesters only that I was away, the spring of 73 and then the spring of 74 when I went to graduate school. So other than that, I've been here continuously. So once I was in graduate school, I got a call from Dean Fangman at the time, Elmer Fangman, who was Dean of Students, who was also a long time staff member here. And he offered me a job as a residence hall director in Augustine Hall, St. Augustine Hall. I said, Dean, I think you've called the wrong number. This is Larry Wilcox. Are you sure you want the right number? And he said, well, we need somebody that we think can be in charge. So I came back. I did it with the provision that I would be able to also coach football.
Oh, okay.
As an assistant for John Beresevic and then George Tardif and then Matt May.
Yeah.
So I was in the dorm for 5 years as a resident hall director, assistant football coach, and then during that time became the head baseball coach.
Oh,
so
very interesting.
That was another hat.
Yeah.
One thing about the Catholics, they can give you multiple jobs in those days especially.
That as duty assigned is bold.
Yeah, underline, red ink, the whole thing.
So how long were you the baseball coach then?
5 years.
Okay.
So
it's still assistant football coach.
Still residence hall director.
Oh, wow.
And in 1979, took the head football job. So I was residence hall director, head baseball coach, head football coach.
Holy
taught
smokes.
Classes, did intramurals while Thad Nowak was out with a surgery. So.
Oh my gosh! Do you think back to that and you're like, how did I do all that?
Oh man! Now that I'm retired,
yeah,
I'm like, how did I get 80 hours into what I do now?
Right, right. So. Holy cow! What's one thing maybe when you think back to that, you're like just like a prominent memory you have from those first 5 years?
Well, it was really a transitional period for the college as well, financially, and and then in '72 when I was a senior, the Mount and St. Benedict's became Benedictine College. So I was in the first class. We were the only class that had the choice of whether you had St. Benedict's or Benedictine College on your diploma.
Interesting. What did you choose?
I think I had St. Benedict's.
Yeah.
Actually. So knowing that there wasn't going to be any more of those.
That's smart,
There might be hopefully there'll be a lot of Benedictine ones. But, the college was going through some very difficult financial times, what I call the dark days, actually. And we didn't know if we could pay the rent or make payroll.
Right.
So, but I think what I would remember most is just how active it made me. And I tend to be active.
Sure.
I like to do stuff.
Right.
I like to be on the go and stay busy, and so that kept me pretty busy. I mean, literally, in baseball season, we would have games, and I wasn't a very good scheduler as a baseball coach because we played KU, K-State, Iowa State, Tulsa, Creighton, as well as the Division II, NCAA Division II schools.
Interesting.
So we had only a couple of NAIA schools on our schedule.
Interesting.
What are now NAIA schools, and then. So we had that, and at the same time, we'd have spring football practice.
Holy cow.
So I tried to wedge all of those things in there, and it worked out. And obviously, the players had to make some concessions and adapt.
Yeah. Now, when you were in high school or even at Benedictine, did you play multiple sports?
In high school.
In high school, you did. Okay, so.
Well, here too, actually.
Oh, okay.
So we started football in 1970.
Mm-hmm.
So my first year was not all everything that I thought it would be.
Sure.
I'm like, how fast can I get out of here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was this bus ticket two-way, or was it just a one-way ticket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the place quickly grows on you, as you well know, and primarily because of the people. And my classmates in particular, I mentioned before we started that if I had to define myself, it would be as I'm a shy person.
Mm-hmm.
Most people wouldn't know that about me. I was sort of reclusive, actually.
Oh, interesting.
But in the dorm, the other guys don't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
They're like, get your butt out here, and come on, we're going to go do something.
Yeah.
So, that really integrated me into experience and changed who I was as a person, number one, but also opened up a lot of new doors to me.
So your original plan was to teach?
Yes.
That's what you thought you were going to do. And in a way, you did. You taught for a little bit, right, when you were here, but then really you just dove into the coaching aspect and all that.
Wearing 4, 5, 6 hats, I had to choose what I
gets old.
I told Father Gerard, the president at the time, I said, hey, I would give myself the lowest grade as the teacher
Sure.
As opposed to the other things that I'm doing. And so
you found a real love for coaching and for being involved in that more in some respects. That's teaching, obviously, because you're coaching. So where did that just sort of bubble up and you're like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing?
Well, I actually came here to go into dentistry.
Oh my gosh, we should start over.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
And, the first football game we played was in Los Angeles.
Okay. California?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
The big city.
Yeah.
And so I had never been on a plane. We flew to Los Angeles, played Loyola Marymount of Los Angeles in a football game.
Okay.
We flew standby on 2 different planes.
Oh my goodness.
Stayed in up in the hills overlooking the city.
Oh my goodness.
About as scenic as you could get. We went to the beach. We went to Disneyland.
Wow.
The only negative was, 2 negatives. We lost the game, which was expected. The first game against the team that was ranked number 1 in the country.
Oh my gosh.
And we lost that game. But the other negative was 8 o'clock a.m. Monday morning, I had Father Eugene Dahner's biology test.
Oh, jeez.
And didn't do much studying while I'm in Los Angeles. So I failed the test.
Okay.
Father Eugene wrote a note on my test. He said, do you want to play football or be a dentist? So I waited around a couple of days and went up to him. I said, Father, I've been thinking about your question. I really like that football thing. I think I'm going that direction.
Wow.
So Father Eugene became a friend for his entire life.
Sure. I bet he did.
And we were pretty close. But he sort of nudged me in the direction that I probably needed to go. Yeah. So
why did you think did you have a dentist in your family or
no? No. At that time, our high school counselor, there's a shortage of dentists, and all I knew is mine lived in a big house. And so there are all these pure reasons why I should maybe become a dentist.
That's
so
hilarious.
Other than that, I wasn't very good at biology.
Yeah.
So I later retook biology and got an 8.
Well, let's make sure that's mentioned. Yeah. Okay, so fast forward a little bit. You're not doing 5 jobs anymore. You're now the head coach of the football team. What's the world like in Larry Wilcox's life?
Well, let me back up a step because I really didn't go into coaching because I so much wanted to be a coach.
Okay.
I went into coaching because I still wanted to work with people.
Okay.
And they weren't going to let me teach physics here. Okay. So I'm like, how can I do that?
Yeah.
And so coaching was the way to become a part of so many young people's lives.
Yeah.
And I think in some ways it opens up other doors for you to impact on people that might not be available in a classroom.
Absolutely.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Class starts, class ends, everybody goes their direction.
Yep.
Football practice starts, football ends, but you're in the locker room, you're in the meeting room, you're on the bus, you're in the motel, they're in your office crying. Yeah. There's all kinds of other things that happen.
And sometimes those side conversations and those moments that aren't on the field really are the transformational moments that happen in people's lives and in guys' lives. And they're like, oh my gosh, he believes in me even off the field. And then they see something in themselves. And then that's really where the impact happens from a longevity as an adult. And I bet we could call, 2 people and they would echo that you impacted them off the field just as much as on the field. So, okay. So then after you're in there, you're head coaching and life evolves and you're rooted in Atchison. Did you think that it would be, the legacy that it is for so many years?
Well, it probably became, I'll just do this one more year.
Yeah.
There were opportunities to go other places, and people probably think I was not very smart for not taking those opportunities.
Everybody outside of Benedictine. Yeah. Maybe not here.
Well, some inside too. So I'm not always everybody's favorite. No. I tend to say what I think, and I try and be as honest and upfront, but sometimes that can be interpreted as also not sensitive enough.
Sure, I could see that.
I step on a few toes sometimes,
right.
Okay, but my intentions, I hope, are always in the right place. So there were decisions within this college that I was outspoken about because I thought they were in the best interest of the future of the school.
Sure.
Other people thought, shut your mouth. You're just a dumb football coach.
Keep your head down. Yeah.
Just do your job. Yeah. But my job was the college.
Right.
My job was not just the football program.
Right.
So if there was no football, if there was no college, there would be no football program.
Right.
So I felt that the reason I didn't leave is I felt like I could make a difference here. I didn't know necessarily that other places I could make as significant a difference, especially in a critical time that the college was in. So my motto was, hey, give me whatever you need to done, I'll do it. And whatever you need, I planted grass seed on the campus, I cut grass, I picked up trash in parking lots. So, I'm not above doing any job, in my philosophy of it. If it needs to be done, do it.
Let's get it done,
Let's get it done.
Yeah.
So, and then some other people will emulate what you're
doing.
Right,
exactly. Hopefully. Yeah. Do you feel like, I think you probably had that foresight because while you were here, you kind of rode the waves of, and as a student, I don't think we see all the things, obviously you don't see behind the curtain, but as you came back as an RD and stuff, you kind of saw, okay, we're kind of riding the tide here of the good and the bad, and we're working together, but what stays true is really the community aspect, and everybody pulls up their bootstraps and you do what you need to do, and, you don't hide in your room or hide in your office. So as you kind of rode the waves, I'm sure there were more than just one wave through the years. Did you just keep going back to the foundation of the heart of Benedictine? And I know who Benedictine is, and we'll ride this out. Like, how did you stay optimistic through all those things?
You just had to look people in the eye.
Yeah. Sure.
And, you're like, if this place isn't here.
Right.
What will they be doing? Not that there aren't other excellent options,
Right.
But this place just sort of seems to have a different meaning to many of the students who go through here. Not all of them, but many of them that go through here.
Right.
And that's probably the greatest testimony to that is the kind of interaction that students continue to have after they leave here with the students that they went to school with. I know in my class, for example, we got a group of 30, 40, 50 guys that get together 2, 3, 4 times a year.
Right.
Now, we're talking about over 50 years.
Right.
So there aren't too many other people I meet, they're like, well, we don't do that with the people we went to school with. We maybe text somebody, but we actually physically get together in St. Louis or Kansas City or Florida or wherever.
Yeah.
And, and a lot of our students do that. And if you're not doing that and you're sitting out there, call somebody you went to school with.
1,000%. Yeah. And what's so funny? So I was talking to Chuck Malloy, who is a friend of yours, graduate yours, and he was telling me about the Amigos and your group, and you guys get together. And I told him, you're an inspiration, whether you guys realize it or not. And even my girls, my group from 2006 when we graduated, right after I talked to Chuck, I reached out to all of them. I said, girls, we're getting something on the calendar because if they can do it, we can do it.
Those old geezers can do it.
And I asked him, I said, how long have you been doing this? It's a true testament to the heart of Benedictine and who we all are, because I sat and talked to Chuck for God knows how long, and I had never met the man. And same with you. I was the water girl for a couple years for the football team when Coach Wilcox was the coach, and I don't think we interacted at all, but he was too busy for us little water girls. But we're sitting here to now, it's like we talked all the time. And so I think that's just a testament to Benedictine, the culture, and just the truth behind the intrinsic heart of all Ravens. And if you're in that, you're in it, you're forever.
As another example of that is my wife, as we're speaking, is in Cape Cod with 7 of her classmates.
Oh my gosh, I love it. That's amazing.
Just for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. And she went here.
Yes.
And she graduated.
Oh, don't put me on the spot.
Oh. Couple years after you?
Yeah.
I
think 83, I think.
Yeah, a couple years, and you guys met here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. And was she a teacher, or what did she do after she graduated?
She was in education.
Okay.
She was taught at the Mount High School for a number of years, then went to Bishop LeBlanc High School in St. Joe as the principal.
Okay.
And then returned here to work in the Student Success Center.
So that's wonderful. Yeah.
She was in charge of the Student Success Center.
And where was home for her? Omaha. Okay,
One of 9.
What? Oh wow!
1 of 9 children.
And did she get on a bus too?
I think her dad brought her down and dropped her off and said, "We'll see you at Thanksgiving."
So did she think like, oh, I'm going to stay in Atchison forever? And did you guys ever think like, okay, do we want to live in Kansas City? And, so many people do the remote or the trek every day. And were you guys, you know what, we're going to plant roots and this is going to be our home.
She really never broached that question. I think we just were happy to be here.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And why that was asked that question repeatedly once I told people I was going to retire.
Oh.
Well, are you moving?
Yeah.
Heck no, I'm not moving. I grew up in a major city, St. Louis area.
Yeah.
I've been 40 years recruiting in major cities.
Yeah.
I don't want a 45-hour drive twice a day.
Right.
I like my 5-minute commute to CVS, Walmart, the golf course.
Right.
If I want to go anywhere in the world,
right.
35 minutes to an international airport.
Exactly. Yeah.
One thing my wife did say is that 14 times we went to Europe and Scandinavia with the football team.
Wow.
So she said, I never thought that Benedictine football would get me to those places.
Right.
Rome and Munich and
Holy
Stockholm.
Smokes.
She thought she was just going to go to Fayette, Missouri,
right.
Baldwin, Kansas.
Lo and behold, did she know what was in store for her? Yeah, that's amazing. Do they travel international? Have they done that, the football program forever?
No.
Okay. I didn't think so.
Some sort of unique.
That's amazing. That's very cool. Outside of sports, this might be a hard question because, really that's been such a part of your career. And how have you seen Benedictine show up in your life, just in conversation or as you've traveled the world and such, and just you're like, Benedictine, like it just kind of hits you? That might be a hard question.
Yeah, it is a hard question. It's sort of philosophical in nature. And, I didn't get a good grade in that class either.
I didn't either.
But I guess that probably I'm always reminded to put the other person first whenever you can.
Yeah.
And even when it's not convenient to do that. And that's something I think both myself and Janet, my wife, have done, is that we put other people first. That's number one. We try and share as best we can.
Yeah.
You got to remember, I worked for the Catholic Church
right.
for 48 years.
Right.
I only had one job.
Right.
At one place. So there's not a lot of wealth, but we're able to help out wherever we can.
Well, and I think helping looks different from a lot of respects, whether it's time, talent, or treasure. Whether you're helping mow grass or whatever that looks like, or just being a force in the community that is doing such good and that people look to as, wow, look what Larry did and look what Janet did, and they're doing for the community. It's not like you're retired and, okay, well, I'm just going to go to Maui every other week, like you've got you. It does. But you really are invested in not only Atchison, but also Benedictine. And what I think is frankly very aspirational and inspirational is the whole person, that's such a testament to the program, not only the football program, but the athletic program in Benedictine as a whole. Is it's not just come, play your sport, get your degree, see you later. It's the whole person, and how can you go and do good in the world, and pay it forward on what you learned here at Benedictine in the community, and all of the assets that you have now in your backpack, if you will, and as you go out into the world. And I think that you're a champion for displaying that, showing that, and teaching that. So from my little corner of the world, I thank you. Is there any other thoughts that you have that you'd like to share?
Well, I like to think that the growth of Benedictine College will continue.
Yeah.
And, one of the most important historical things that happened in this college was Steve Minnis coming to our campus,
right.
who I helped to recruit
right.
as a baseball coach. But just what has happened here, and sometimes change is difficult
right.
for people,
whether it's good or
but
bad.
All you have to do is look out your window
right
here
right.
and see what has happened,
right.
And maybe look at some pictures from the 40s and the 50s
mm-hmm.
of what was here
mm-hmm.
and what is here now.
Mm-hmm.
You have physical things that are attractive to 17, 18-year-old people
right.
and their parents,
right.
for safety and a great education, all those kind of things. But it's all the other values that come along with it that
mm-hmm.
are the difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
And we have sort of a unique population here
mm-hmm.
of students,
mm-hmm.
But there's also a place for athletics as an example,
right.
within that. And I think athletics can be an important part of our community here.
Mm-hmm.
And at one point in time, as athletic director, I was also the athletic director
right.
for 24 years.
Right.
So
we didn't even talk about that.
I would say that, I'd say, Kelly, we're about maxed out on how many athletes we can have. And she says, I know, we need more spectators. We need more fans.
Right.
We need to recruit more fans. So
right.
now our enrollment is up. It continues to go up, and
right.
hopefully that'll happen. So
yeah.
I'd like to see more students get involved.
Right.
Go to the volleyball game.
Right.
Go to the play.
Yep.
Go to the football
Yep.
game. You know, get out of your room.
Mm-hmm.
Your book will still be there
Right.
2 hours from now.
Right.
You know.
Right. And that's what makes
fun,
it.
because if you have fun,
Yep.
I think you have a greater appreciation of the total experience.
Yep. And you get to know so many different types of people than you may even are, you're not allowing yourself to get to know others if you limit yourself to just athletics, just the sport I'm in. If you diversify yourself and get outside your comfort zone, that's where kind of the magic happens. And that's really where the beauty of Benedictine lies. Because just because maybe you didn't do SGA in high school doesn't mean you shouldn't do it here. Just try different things. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know? And that's the beauty of really what is a Benedictine, and I think what really connects all of us, because even if you didn't play a sport, you can, everybody kind of hums along together. Thank you. Yeah. This was wonderful. So appreciate you and all that you've done and all that you continue to do. And really you are a walking model of what it means to be a Raven. So thank you. I mean that genuinely.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks for joining us on Always a Raven. New episodes will drop every Tuesday, and you're not going to want to miss any of them because we've got some pretty amazing guests coming up. They are reigniting the hearts of Ravens throughout all generations across all industries, and they are incredible. Be sure to like and follow us on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss any episodes. And if you're a new Raven or a potential Raven, be sure to check out our website at benedictine.edu. And remember, once a Raven, always a Raven.